truly love the love that you had for such a long time with your partner for so long, that there's space for both loves in your heart. And I think that's a really important message for anyone that has at Christmas realized that maybe they're no longer with the person that they loved, or maybe that, something happened, or they lost them, or it was divorce, or who knows, what reason, that you hang on to the real love that you had in the time that you had it, and you carry that with you for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. Very well said, Jane. Now, Joe, how was it like to have Toni Braxton executive produce A Christmas Part this season? Because she's also appeared in a Lifetime movie back a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I'm a fan from years ago, and so I was pretty excited. I have yet to meet Toni. I've spoken with her on phone, and but it was an incredible experience, and I thank her and Rhonda, our director. She was fabulous, and Steven Bulka, and it was just a wonderful experience. I look forward to meeting Toni someday, but I was honored to be in this movie, and everything that Jane just said, I have to ditto. This was an experience on this film that I got to learn a little bit about myself and about second chances and the ability to always keep the door open for new experiences. And this was just a really sweet movie. I'm very happy with it.
Absolutely. Very well said. Thank you, Joe and Jane. Y'all both take care and have a great and happy holiday.
Thank you.
Well, take care.
Noah. The next question's Jay Bobbin.
Thank you very much. Hi, Jane and Joe. Joe, hi. It's interesting to me, Joe, that you read the script and maybe didn't see yourself in it until you were actually pitched it. It seems like all the elements were here. Certainly a reunion of you two, the fact that you liked the movie and it was sweet. Did you really have no concept of you being in it yourself until the actual offer came your way?
Well, before I read it, Jane said, oh, maybe you could, and then you said something about playing Father Christmas, and I didn't quite understand that part. You said Father Christmas to me, I remember, and I thought, oh, okay. And then when I read the script, there was a certain amount of singing and dancing in it that I was very worried about, but said okay. And I didn't know for sure if they would take some of it out. So I was going out on a limb of embarrassment possibly, but I took a shot at it because Jane was going to be there. And they adapted the script to take care of those little problems that I had, except for a couple scenes, which you actually do get to hear me sing, and you do get to see me dance.
Thank you.
Two things I have in common with my character, Hank. Can't sing and I can't dance. And he says that, but you give it a shot.
Thank you.
Next question is from Monica Gleiberman.
Hello, Jane and Joe. It's so nice to see you guys, and it's so nice to see you guys together. I'm so excited. I wanted to ask both of you, so I'll do like a generic kind of first part question. For both of you, obviously Christmas movies, they're so magical, and so many people look to them and rewatch them all year long. What was it like for both of you to try to make this one stand out in terms of an acting perspective? And is there any weight that gets put on you knowing that these movies are so beloved when they come out?
Well, I don't know. You go, Joe.
Weight, I didn't feel any weight on me for this one because it was different than other Christmas scripts I've read. It had a lot more humor available to it, and I knew that they were going to let us kind of just be ourselves at times. And that's what I really clicked on to this one and loved about it. And I think Jane felt the same way. We were able to use some of our own chemistry. I heard someone bring up chemistry in another interview earlier today, and chemistry is something that you can't manufacture, and you can't go, oh, that person looks like they would be great with that person, put them together and expect it. It happens, and it's happened with Jane and I, and I've had that opportunity with just a couple other people in my career, and I think that's why we keep going back to that well of chemistry between the two of us.
It's pretty unique. And as Joe said, I remember the first day I worked on Dr. Quinn, and I, had just come through a terrible circumstance and a terrible marriage. And I'm looking at him and just going like, no, that'll never happen. And what is it? 31 years, nearly 32 years later, we are reasonably inseparable. And if I put if Joe and his family, and they're always at my house, we are entwined families, all the children and the rest of it, and Kirsten and I, and we all get along really well. And we there's just a chemistry. I mean, we have it, and hopefully we always will, but we're also best friends. And I think, there's an excitement because you can act without a safety net, because you know that you can throw something out there and he'll catch it, or I'll catch it, or we'll play with it. And this is kind of new thing I've been doing recently. And Rhonda, our director, loved it. And I said, well, when you feel you've got it, you say, that's it, it's perfect. Can we have a freebie? And she said, what's a freebie? I said, that's when you know you've got it. So now you can be completely silly and just throw it upside down and backwards to see what happens. So Joe and I started having way too many freebies. And Rhonda loved it. And Joe came up with so many great ideas. It was magic for me. I know everyone always talks about, bringing back Dr. Quinn. I think bringing forward Molly and Hank. I'm not going back, I'm going forward. And I think that was what this was. It was a celebration of a unique chemistry that we have. And it was so much fun. And I've seen it, and it definitely exceeded expectations.
And I just want to add to that too. By the way, it does. It's so good. I'm so excited for you guys. But to add on to kind of what you're both saying too, in terms of moving your characters forward, are you prepared for the response that people are going to have seeing the two of you together again, and, kind of pushing these characters forward, in a different way, but still having you guys together?
Sure. I would love that.
Yeah. Why not? Do you want to work with me again, Joe? Come on, be honest.
Okay, I'll work again. I was retired basically, and they sucked me back in when they said Jane.
Well, thank you guys so much. I'm so excited for you, and I can't wait for all the fans to see it. They're gonna freak out. So congratulations.
They're already freaking out on the internet, I think. Yes, all over the world. We're gonna have to find a way to show Lifetime movies globally.
We'll put the word out. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
The next question is from Mike Hughes.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah, for Jane, the last time you did one of these, you kind of asked what's it like to be working on so many projects when so many people were out of work or it's coming out of COVID at the time. Since then, one of your shows has ended, but now you've added this one. And Joe talked about coming in here, you had 1 million projects you were thinking about. You were just super busy compared to everybody else. Is it fun? Is it surprising for you to be that busy? What's it like to be in the situation you're in?
It is. I am just so grateful. I mean, oh my gosh, I love acting, and I've been getting the most amazing roles. And Christmas Spark was a really fun one. Harry Wild that I'm doing right now. I'm doing another 12 episodes. We had the second season. And that's just a gift for me. It's such an amazing character, and I adore it. And I did Ruby's Choice, which you haven't seen yet, about a woman who has dementia. That was a very powerful and wonderful role. And then, Chuck Lorre lets me come out and be completely insane. So I think what's been fun is because I'm not trying to be an ingenue or, very young or any of that, I can play my age to 85 and comedy and drama and everything. And I love working, and I'm just so grateful to have such beautiful quality work and work with such great people.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike. The next question goes to So Unique Magazine.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
So my question is, new love can bring a person back to life and help them find their silenced inner voice. Can any of you relate to Molly and what she experienced?
Oh, yeah. How about the time I met you, Joe, and didn't you introduce me to playing pool and a few other things?
Yeah, but
yeah. Actually, didn't I kind of climb out of a car into your window when there was a flash flood and you took me? There
was a flood.
We won't go any further, okay? But we understand that. Yes,
yeah.
Been there, done that. Yes.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
Great thing about this film, though, is, and it was different than the other Lifetime movies I read, is that what I've seen, so that it had characters, like you said, of a certain age. And even though I'm a few years younger than Jane, it still looked like I was robbing the cradle somehow. Yes. I haven't seen the whole movie. I just did some ADR work on it, and Jane looks just fabulous. And she has some kind of deal with the devil. I'm not quite sure what it is, but
you the devil?
Deal with the devil. No, just the way you just stay young, and you know, work is coming to you because of your attitude and your professionalism and her ability to just knock it out of the park every time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Good luck with the film.
Thank you.
We have
You're
time
welcome.
for probably 2 more questions. The next question is from Mark Berman.
Hi, thanks you very much for doing this. You know, Jane, it was a real treat to see you last season on Be Positive. I was so disappointed that it didn't live on. And I'm wondering, you know, you're known, I think, throughout your career as probably doing more drama than comedy, but I'm wondering, do you have a preference for one over the other? Is one easier than the other? And then secondly, the prerequisite question is, would you both consider Dr. Quinn reboot movie, or would you could do that again?
Well, I'll answer first of all my love of comedy. After I did Wedding Crashers, suddenly it was like a whole new world for me, and I love comedy. I love doing drama as well, and to me, it's all acting. So, I mean, like the one I would say that there was a lot of comedy in Christmas Spark, but there also was, you know, a lot of very real material in there, especially the scenes with my daughter, which were very powerful. And I love that kind of thing. So I can't choose between comedy and drama. To me, it's all life is comedy and drama. It's all of it. As to doing another Dr. Quinn, I would only do it if it was going to be as good, if not better. I mean, it's got to be something really, really special. And I'm not quite sure how that happens. Also, at the moment, we haven't found anyone that actually wants it. So you answer this one, Joe. Come on.
Oh, you know, I would love to do it again, but we won't lower the bar and sully the old reputation of Dr. Quinn. I mean, because it was a fabulous show, and it was really well done. And I don't want to do anything less than what we've done before, which was, you know, our best job: writing, producing, the acting, everything about that show. When you go back and look at it, it looked like a big movie, actually. And our wonderful DP, Ozzy, you know, had made that show look so beautiful and rich. But yes, I think Jane and I and a few of the other folks would be very on board if we did a good script. And sadly, the town that we shot in burned down a couple of years ago completely to the ground. So it would be like starting new, you know, whatever would come up that would be Dr. Quinn would have to be something very different than what you saw before, but still keep the same heart. And maybe I would like to see these people get together and bond with one another and rebuild the town and do something, you know, that's really inspirational. Hopefully that'll come together, and hopefully it'll be soon, because, you know, time is a ticking bomb here with Jan and I.
What?
I've
just begun.
Well, I still have to be able to jump on a horse.
Or fall off a horse.
Fall off a horse. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mark.
And we're squeezing in one last question from Jamie Steinberg.
Thank you both so much for your time. If anyone else finds Joe out of place without the long hair, or is it just me?
Well, I've got
all
mine
inside my head, dear. It's all in here now.
Jane, I loved seeing you on a motorcycle. I found that such a fun scene for the both of you to film. Had you A, ever been on one before, and B, could you talk a little bit about filming that particular scene, please?
I have been on a motorcycle before, and I think, you know, poor Joe, every time we do anything, I am the one either driving the wagon or riding the motorcycle. And of course, he's the one that'd be much better doing it, but he always has to, you know, risk his life by having me do it. But, you know, no, we had some wonderful stunt doubles because they would not really allow us. There's sort of some legal reason why we're not supposed to go and kill ourselves on these things. And so we were pretending. We were doing a lot of acting, weren't we, Joe? But I did like it.
The day we shot it was our last day on the set, and a beautiful day. We had beautiful weather up in Vancouver. It was just
incredible.
And the cast, the crew, everybody up there loved them. It was such a great experience. But the last day was just perfect because we didn't have a lot of lines. And so it wasn't a lot of work that way, but it was just get on this motorcycle that's in an insert car. And they pulled us around this beautiful park for a couple hours. And we just laughed and goofed around and said, oh, again? All right, let's go again. It was just a really great way to end the show and a really special time. And I'm very, very happy to be part of it. And hopefully I'll be back on a motorcycle with you again, Jane, this time driving.
I hope so. I think we started something here. And I think, you know, sometimes you make a movie like we did with Dr. Quinn. And I think we've done it now with Christmas Spark, where you encapsulate authentic, real, magical chemistry and feelings in the characters. But it was a magical experience. I'm so glad you did it. And I'm so proud of you. I think you did a brilliant job. And I want to see more Joe Lando movies. Just saying.
Thank you. I've got a bunch of them in my office you can watch.
Okay.
Both of you did an exceptional job on this, and I'm excited for a part 2 next year.
Hopefully.
Oh, that would be fun.
Thank you. So that concludes our panel for A Christmas Spark. Thank you, Jane Seymour and Joe Lando, for joining us. It's been a pleasure. And don't forget, A Christmas Spark premieres on Lifetime Sunday, November 27th at 8/7 Central. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.